You definitely don't want to make these mistakes with the curtains in your home. Let's talk about it. Hey there, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com. Over the last dozen years at least, I've been learning so much about DIY, home decor, home styling as a DIY and decor blogger, and doing dozens of home renovations and room makeovers by myself and with my contractor husband, Sean. So I wanted to share some of those things with you, and this video is going to be all about curtains and drapes. I love using textiles in my home to make it look cozy, to make it look higher end, on a budget, and there's certain things that you should avoid when styling curtains in your home. Let's get started. Mistake number one when using curtains in your home is not getting curtains that are long enough. And I see this one over and over again. I've done this in the past, definitely. I've even done this by mistake recently. So I'll show you some photos of curtains that aren't quite long enough, and you let me know what you think of this look. I'm gonna use stock photos or my own photos for this video because there's nothing that I hate more than people using other designers' photos to illustrate something negative, right? When you purchase curtains that are too short for your space, you create this awkward relationship with your window and the floor. My preference is to have curtains that graze the floor. So you want to make sure that the curtains you purchase are long enough so that once you hang them on your rod, they can graze the floor. Puddling also looks pretty good as well. It has a bit more of a romantic or even a relaxed vibe to it. That's also a look too. But if you have curtains that are just kind of hanging a few inches off the floor or even a foot or two off the floor, it doesn't make your room look that cohesive. Here's an example of curtains that I feel are too short. And here's an example of curtains that I think are just the right length to give this room so much more of a high-end look. So where do you find longer length curtains? My personal favorite place to find long curtains is IKEA. Usually they're at least 98 inches long, sometimes longer, 109 inches. So even if you have 9-foot ceilings, these can go from a nice high rod and graze the floor perfectly. That's where I buy most of my curtains, or I just sew mine myself, and then you can make them any length that you want. Curtain mistake number two, and I've talked about this so many times, but I am so passionate about this, is hanging your curtains too low. This also creates a disjointed look as well. It also makes your ceilings feel lower. It makes your whole room feel smaller when you have that curtain rod just sitting right on top of your window on the casing, or even just an inch or two above where that window is. My personal preference is to mount the rod quite close to the ceiling, so anywhere from about 2 inches to 6 inches from the ceiling. What that does is make your whole ceiling look taller, make your room look bigger, and give more of a grand, expensive look to your space. But you don't have to spend lots of money to get this look. Again, you can head on over to IKEA, get their longer length drapes. They also have curtain rods there. I also like the curtain rods from Home Depot. They have some nice ones there too. Very affordable, probably around $20 Canadian. You can get a nice rod, nice brackets, mount that about 2 to 6 inches from the ceiling, and then buy those longer drapes, DIY those longer drapes, and you have a gorgeous look for your home that instantly elevates your space. So here's an example of drapes that, in my opinion, are mounted too low. And here's an example of drapes that are mounted nice and high, close to the ceiling, giving this room a grander look. My drapes in my living room are about 6 inches from the ceiling. I'm leaving a bit more space because I eventually have this vision to add crown molding to our ceiling, to our wall. One day I hope that can be there. Curtain mistake number 3 is purchasing curtains that are not wide enough for your window. So I used to do this in the past, and I know a lot of people do this as well. You purchase a curtain panel and it's pretty much the same width as your curtain. So when you open the curtain, there's some gathers, but when the curtain is closed, there's no pleats, there's no gathers. In my opinion, this kind of creates a little bit of a dorm room vibe. It almost looks like when your curtains are all the way closed, it looks like it's just a sheet hanging over your window. What you want to do is make sure that the curtains are wide enough so that even when the curtains are drawn, when they're closed over your window, you have that gathered look. So in my experience, it usually works out if your curtains are about 2 to 3 times the width of your window. So for example, if your window is 2 feet wide, you want to get some curtains that are anywhere from 4 to 6 feet wide, whether that's purchasing 2 panels that are 2 feet wide, 3 feet wide each, 3 panels, 4 panels. You can even go a little bit wider if you want even more of a fuller look. That's what I did recently on our living room windows. I actually purchased 4 panels from IKEA of these linen drapes. I put 2 on each side of my window to give my room a more elevated, more expensive look. But they're just IKEA drapes, so they're nice and budget friendly. So I'm still trying to save some money that way. Mistake number 4 when styling curtains in your home is choosing cheap looking fabrics. And I want to clarify what I mean by that is you can spend little money and get more expensive looking fabric, but there's just some fabric that just automatically looks cheap in my opinion. So I'm talking about any fabric that pills really easily. So lots of polyester fabric will pill. They'll have those little kind of balls of fluff that appear after a while. That can look really messy after a while. Also, any polyester type of fabrics that are a little bit plastic looking, like those polyester lace curtains. IKEA has some that are okay, but I'd probably recommend going for more of a cotton lace. That tends to have a bit more of an elevated look. I also like to steer clear of stiff sheer fabrics. Those have a tendency to look a little bit dated in my opinion. So what fabrics can look a little more high end? Those are pretty much any natural fabrics. So look for linens, look for linen blends, so a linen and cotton blend, look for cotton curtains. Even cotton polyester blends can look pretty good as well. My favorites are these linen ones from IKEA. I'm gonna say IKEA a whole bunch of times in this video because it's probably my #1 favorite place for drapes and curtains if you have a budget for your home decor. I've also found some beautiful linen curtains at places like HomeSense, so that's HomeGoods in the States, or Wayfair has some as well. I'm gonna link to some of my favorites down in the description box below with fabrics that I think look absolutely gorgeous and that are gonna stand the test of time. Curtain mistake number 5 is choosing the wrong color for your drapes. So you want to make sure that the color of your curtains really accents or really coordinates with the rest of the colors that you're using in your space. I've gone into color theory in a few of my previous videos quite a few years ago. I'll link to my color theory videos down in that description box below. I even have a color theory free printable for you. But if you know a little bit about color theory, that's going to help you choose the color of your drapes. Now before we begin, if you're confused, if you just have no clue what color you want to get for your curtains, it's very safe just to default to white or off-white curtains. I have purchased so many gorgeous, just classic linen white drapes and curtains throughout my life. I still have every single one of those panels. I use them all the time in my home and other people's homes. Really, white curtains are a classic. They match with everything. They're light, they're bright, especially if you can get a beautiful linen or cotton. You can use those for years and years to come. But if you do want to opt for more of a colorful curtain, think about the following. Number 1, do you want your curtains to stand out in your space? If so, you want to go for a complementary color. So that is a color that's opposite the other color on the color wheel. Again, I'll link to my color theory post down in the description box below. So for example, if your walls are a green color and you want the curtains to really pop out, you want to get something opposite the color wheel, which is something in the red family or the berry family. Those curtains are going to stand out. It's going to give you a very eclectic look. However, if you want the curtains to have more of a calming effect, to blend into your space a little bit better, go for an analogous color. So that's a color beside another color on the color wheel. So if you have blue walls, maybe opt for some blue-green curtains or some green curtains. That's going to give a more calming look. But lastly, again, if you want to just keep a nice classic simple look, go for a neutral colored curtain. So that's anything that is white, off-white, tan, even a light gray could also be neutral as well. So here's an example of curtains that are complementary to this space. Here's an example of curtains that are analogous and they blend into the space. And now here's an example of neutral colored curtains. Let me know which is your preferred look down in those comments below. I am always a neutrals girl, always will be. However, I do like a patterned drape. And that leads me to curtain mistake number 6. And that's choosing the wrong pattern for your drapes. So if you don't want a boring solid color for your drapes or a boring solid neutral, you might want to opt for some sort of pattern for your drapes. I love pattern. I love these DIY floral drapes that I did in our breakfast nook last year. They're still so amazing. I still love them so much. And what I think is my favorite part of these is that they do have that romantic look, that kind of cottagecore look, but they're still neutral. So they're black and white, so they can mix and match with so many different colors. So what kind of mistakes can you make when choosing patterns for your drapes? You want to be really careful when you're mixing and matching patterns in your home. You always want to think of scale. So if you have, for example, throw pillows on your couch that are a really big floral pattern, you want to opt for something that's opposite that scale for your drapes. So if you have a big flowy floral pattern, think about maybe a smaller geometric pattern for your drapes. So not only are you contrasting the scale of the pattern, so big flowers, small checks, you're also contrasting the actual pattern. So big flowy flowers, more geometric shapes for the curtains. And then the opposite is true. If you want to do geometric pillows and then do big floral drapes, that also coordinates really well. The mistake that people sometimes do is have big floral curtains and then maybe like a medium floral throw pillow and then another floral on the couch. And then sometimes when you have all those almost the same but not quite the same scales and patterns everywhere, it can be a little bit overwhelming to the eye and you don't really know where to look. And then finally, mistake number 7 with curtains is not choosing the proper weight for your curtain fabric. So what I mean by that is there's a variety of different weights for fabric with drapes and curtains. You can get anything from a sheer curtain that's essentially completely see-through to a blackout drape that has a really heavy fabric with usually a blackout lining on it. And this really boils down to what you want to use that space that you're putting the curtain for. In a breakfast nook, for example, where it is looking out to your backyard like ours is, there's no privacy issues, there's no sleeping that needs to be done in the room, you can go for something more sheer, or you can even go for something that doesn't even need to close like I did with our drapes. They're just more decorative, and we always have our windows open anyhow. But in a bedroom, you might want to go for a blackout drape. I made this mistake when we styled our vacation rental. I first put in these beautiful sheer white drapes, but since then I have learned that I definitely need to put blackout drapes there. So they're a dark blue with a blackout backing, but that is just so much more practical for a bedroom. Having those blackout drapes that you can draw completely shut, block out that light, especially when you're trying to sleep in the summer, is essential. And then for a living room where, say, you have a privacy issue, maybe it's looking to the neighbor's yard, but you don't want to completely block out the sun, you want to have a little bit of that sunshine showing through, you might want to go with a medium weight sort of fabric, like a nice light linen, cotton, that still filters that light through so you get that sunny feeling in your space, but has more privacy. So I'm going to link to some of my favorite curtains of all time down in the description box below in case you want to purchase some. You don't have to buy curtains, you can DIY them as well, especially if you're on a budget. Sometimes this is a great idea. Go to the thrift store, find fabric there, wait for sales on a place like fabric.com. I always shop the sales. I always like to shop thrift stores. So there's definitely ways that you can upcycle even things like sheets, old tablecloths into curtains to add some personality to your space. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of these mistakes down in those comments below. I'm gonna leave some more videos that I hope you will enjoy watching next, right up here.